Hey guys, welcome back. This is ChosenArchitect, and today we're going to be diving into some more compact machines as we learn how to automate things with integrated tunnels. Guys, I hope you're ready. So today, I hope things sound a little bit different in today's video because I now have my mic, my dream mic that I have wanted for so long, and I have now upgraded to this bad boy. This that you're hearing me through is the Shure SM7B, and boy, is it absolutely wonderful sounding. At least from the testing that I've done so far. I still have some tweaks to kind of mess around with that. And then from there, I also have that going into a Go XLR. Brand new device, very interesting, and it's taking a little bit of learning, but it's actually a pretty simple device as well. But now that I have all of this set up, and I've switched from a Blue Yeti microphone, which is a USB microphone, to an XLR microphone, there is some things that I have to get used to. And one thing is a lot more cables. So definitely something that I have to get used to. But anyways, on the side note, that's just something that's on the side that I wanted to just let you guys know. And maybe you might notice the difference. I don't know. To me, it sounds like there's a little bit less room noise now that this mic is picking up. And that's because the sound floor is a little bit lower, which is really, really nice. Anyways, you see we're in a compact world, or compact machine. This is very important to today because we are going to be putting a lot of automation in this room. And I mean a lot. And I'm going to have two separate areas that we need to check out. We're going to have a place to input items on two separate sides, and then we're going to output to one side. And I'll explain that in a second. But we need to get out of here. So let's go ahead and get out. And we're going to talk a little bit more about the automation that this stuff is going to be replaced with. All of this stuff that's in here, well, it's going to disappear. And we're going to just use the simple setup we have here to do all of our processing inside this one compact machine. So it's going to be very, very simple for us today. I'm probably also going to, I may or may not use XNet. I'm still deciding what we're actually going to use to filter items, but I think XNet would be a good option. Another great option is to actually just use the integrated dynamics and kind of go over integrated dynamics cable logic for item routing. That would be a really good thing to do as well. So I think we're going to get into all of that. So let's go ahead and hop in. Let's go. Or first of all, let's break all these machines because these actually need to come with us along with all these cables, all this good stuff. That needs to come with us because we're going to be putting that inside our machine here, inside the compact machine. Along with these machines, these are all going to come with us. They're all going to get automated in very different ways. And we're also going to get power set up. So we're probably going to use Flux Networks for that. I think we have some Flux. Do we have some points? Now, the good part about points, and since we already have a network set up, is that points are really good at staying loaded. I'm pretty sure they say chunk loaded, which doesn't really matter because this is chunk loaded as long as this chunk is loaded. But they also can go cross-dimensionally, which is phenomenal. I love that. And I'm probably going to use energy cables a lot. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. I think the one thing that I really want to do just to make the inside of the compact machine look a little bit nicer is have a floor. We're going to have a floor inside the compact machine, which is going to make things a little bit better. With the walls being white, it might be good for us to, I don't know, use a material that is not so dark to kind of lighten the room up for us. So when we go in there, we don't feel so dark. And actually, I think amber would probably be a good block to use for that. I think we can get away with like some either quartz. What's brighter, cottonwood or quartz amber? Let's see, cottonwood, amber, sand. I think cottonwood is probably the brightest out of all of the ambers. Very, very bright. So I'm going to go ahead and we're going to go ahead and set the floor up. I think we can use this. We'll come down here. We'll get this all set up. All right, let's enter into here. So I've got a few comments from a few of you guys, and you guys have wanted potentially me changing the way I make my videos just a little bit. So some people have said, hey, Chosen, can you just like remove and edit out some of the crafting stuff you do? So I've gotten actually several comments. It's not just coming from one person. Of course, it's coming from a lot of you. And I love to improve my videos, and I want to improve them. I want to make them better. And I like to take that constructive criticism and put it to good use. And so that's really what I want to do. And if you guys are thinking that, and you think that maybe I should cut out a lot of the fluff and kind of go with maybe a better thing and just kind of, showing less of the crafting, then by all means, let me know down in the comments. I really want to know what you guys think. Should I be cutting out a lot of the crafting stuff? Because I know that sometimes it's really important for some people, but for some they don't really want to see that. And I completely understand if they don't. But yeah, like I said, just let me know and we'll see what we can do. I'll see what I can do. All right, so we have our machines here and we can kind of set these up however we really want to. I need to kind of decide if we're going to, for some things we can use GPSs, right? So we can have like a wireless power cell in here. But for some things we can just use energy cable along the back side, and that would probably work as well. We can even line these walls and have these walls have power in them. That might be good as well, and make these walls with a certain material. Let's see, what materials do we have? I want to find another material to work with. And I don't want it to be a transparent one, that's for sure. This one wants to be solid. I would do cobblestone, but I don't think cobblestone's going to be that great. Now, the walls on these compact machines are lit up. They are bright. So I do kind of want to keep with that and make sure everything stays lit up. That would make no sense for me to keep everything dark. So we might have like holes in the thing every now and then. I don't know. For right now, we'll just worry about getting the automation set up. How about that? All right, so let's get back in here and we're just going to place our machines in positions to kind of see how they're going to go. All right, so yeah, we're in a block. Remember that thing I said last episode where you got to set your spawn point? Yeah, now would be a good time to do that. So right here, I'm going to shift and click to set my entry point. Now I shouldn't have that problem anymore. All right, so we have a manufactory. Let's set up our nuclear craft machines on one side. And on the other side, we're going to set up our mechanism machines. So just like we did before, I'm going to take this machine. I want to keep it one block spaced away from the wall, so that way we can access some things. I'm also going to place it, oh, actually, no, I can leave it down in the floor. That should be fine. I just want to place it one above. And then we'll have our alloy furnaces, and I'm going to keep these machines all spaced out. All right. Then over here, we have a few different types of machines, and these can all be configured as well. And we're going to put them on the opposite side. This one, we have 4 main machines. We have our enrichment factory, the crushing factory, and the smelting factory. I would say do crushing. We'll do the crushing. These guys will and put the metallurgic infuser kind of not in here yet. I think that one's kind of a caveat. That one's kind of out on the side. So crushing, smelting, and enriching. I think the smelting should be sort of in the center of the room. And then these guys need to go on the sides. Just like that. Awesome. All right, so piping for this. I think what I might do is have piping run through this section of the wall right here. And then over here, we'll have it run through this section of the wall. We need to figure out what location this is actually going to be in. So that is something we're going to have to do. And then, like I said, we need somewhere for all of our outputs to go. And I think what I'm going to do with that is just use an item transfer node in here to automatically send the items to a specific location or a chest. And then that will be automatically pulled out using like an import bus or something like that. So I think that should work perfectly. Now, getting our piping set up, that is the other thing. This needs to be some sort of chest, and this is where XNet might be a good option. I think I can place XNet machines on this thing, and I can route it to all the different sides of the block, if I remember correctly. That's gonna be something that's gonna be a little bit different, though, a little bit difficult. I don't know. Let's see what I can come up with. So now that I know what I want to do with my items and item routing and how I'm going to do this, let's go ahead and get this thing done. So on the outside here, I think what I'm going to do is on the north side, we're going to do, I guess we can do the non-nuclear craft stuff, right? We'll do that over here. And on the east side or south side, we'll do the nuclear craft. So north will be, right? East, south. I'm getting confused. I'm confusing myself. All right. So nuclear craft will go on the south side. And then our mechanism stuff will go on the north side. There we go. So yeah, so we have south and north. And then of course our our output is going to be one of these sides. I already have the tunnel made. I just need to go get it out of my inventory. But we'll pretend that there's one here and we'll get that set up. So what we'll have here is a chest on each one of these. Since this automatically inputs items, what I'm going to do is have a system that just automatically sends the items into here from some sort of inventory on the outside. And that way it sends items as inventory, and we can use this inventory as like some kind of network for our integrated dynamics. So let's take a look at the integrated dynamics or integrated tunnels. We're going to kind of focus here on how we can use this and how we can make this work with such things as the logic programmer. Because the logic programmer is actually a really important part of getting this to work. You can see right here. So let's take a look at how we route items first. So we're going to have an item interface on the bottom of this. Now, what this is going to do is say, hey, this chest is our inventory, and this is the start of our network. So consider this chest our network. Any items that we put inside here go into our network, right? And so we need to pull out of this chest right now, and everything needs to go into the top. So what we can do is route our items to the top using logic cable to pull. And we can put logic cable on the top sides of each of these machines. Now, currently they don't have power, which is fine. We're going to get power to these guys, believe me. Let me place this over here for right now, and we'll get power to these guys. I'll take a flex point, place it on top, and connect it to my network, right? And then we can GPS this, no problem. These machines can be linked with the GPS. It's mechanism that has the issue with it. So there we go. These all have power or should be getting power. That one's not getting power. I don't know why the manufacturer is not getting power. Maybe some of these don't get power. I have no idea. Let's click that, that, and that. That should give these all power. Unless we're out of power for some reason because it's not connecting properly. This is something I'm going to have to figure out. If we can't get power in here, that's going to be a big issue. If this does not chunk load like I want it to. Let's check this real quick. Because we might be having an issue with our system not getting power through the flux networks. Right? So this is on energy export. This needs to be set to down. And that should pull power. I don't think this automatically sends power. Correct? That should be correct. Other than that, everything should be fine. That should be... This should have enough power. Let's go back. We'll just make sure here. Do these have power now? There we go. So that was our issue. So these can be kind of finicky, and we're going to go over that just in a second. That these kind of can be finicky at times, so we're going to have to work on that. So what we do, we're going to use exporters to send items from this network into our machines. Now you notice when you click on these, there's a little button up in the top right hand corner. And you can see it says the target side. Currently, we're not facing the correct side, right? So a way to fix that is just to go here and go, okay, we're going to go down because we need this to face in the down direction. And we're recognizing the machine downward. So all we got to do is just change it to down. And that should make everything work. So if you're having issues with these cables, this is probably the reason why. Is because the side is not properly set. This needs to be set to up because it's going to the up adjacent inventory. So yeah, you may end up with some weird issues if you don't check that and make sure that it's facing the right side. Anyways, now that that's done, let's go ahead and start configuring our items and how items are going to go into here. So before, we were using this for tough alloy, correct? There's a lot of things we can do with this for tough alloy. So let's take a look. We are going to go ahead and say that we're getting the items in for tough alloy. So let's head back to the overworld. This may all be kind of complicated, but believe me, this is going to work all in the end. So let's take a look at our recipes for this. Why are these down here? I guess those got duplicated maybe? I don't know why those are there. But we have this and this one. Now, to make these different alloys, or tough alloy, take a look at tough. Tough alloy right here. Okay, so alloy furnace. We're going to need the lithium dust and ferroboron alloy. So ferroboron. So there's our ferroboron. We need boron. We're also going to need steel. We need basically all the recipes that we're going to set up with this. We need some steel. We also need, let's see, lithium. We need all these materials. And we're going to have to set these up. All right, so we know steel and boron equals ferroboron, and ferroboron and lithium, they equal tough alloy. And that's what we need to tell this thing whenever we send items to an adjacent chest. So say we send the items to this chest, put the chest here. Say we send the items to this chest, this item. It gets sent into this machine with a pipe. Then that pipe is going to send that, once we get into the dimension, it's going to send that into this chest. Then from there, this is going to start processing our items for us. But we need to set them up first, right? So right here, we can actually export items in a very particular manner and make a nice list of items. So if I want to make ferroboron, we're going to set this process up to make ferroboron. We're going to go ahead and do export items, but it's going to be export items right here. And this is going to be a list of items. So export the given items. So right here, we have a logic programmer, which is a phenomenal thing. And I think we can do list of type of items. And we can do block, or we can do, let's see, item right here. We can go ahead and put a variable card in here. And we can put the items in like that. And we add another item like that. I do believe. Why is it not letting us add more than one? Should be able to add the item here. Or sorry, I probably need a variable card with an item listed in it. I do know you can do this also with another type of programmer. Let's go to item. And we'll put a variable card in with this as an item boron dust. Another variable card with the item steel. And then we'll go into here and go to list. And we'll go to item, put the card in, create. Pretty sure that's supposed to let this go in unless I'm making another list. There we go. I'm adding 2 items. There we go. Perfect. And then there we go. There we go. So now we have 2 items on this card. That's how you do it. I don't know why I couldn't think of that. So now all we have to do is go over here and go into export items. And we throw that here, and you're going to see that it has a few things on it. It doesn't tell you because it's kind of limited. But if we can go ahead and test this, we can go, okay, I'm going to put boron dust in here and steel. And that's going to get exported and thrown in here. Both of those items can be pulled out. So it's very important to know that you can do this. And you can set up filters that I believe are infinite. I don't think there's a limit on how many items you can have in a single filter. So it's pretty interesting, all the crazy stuff you can do. So if you want to have multiple items, that's how you do it. And it will only pull out those items. So be sure to know that it will only pull out those items. Now we need to make another one. Let's do this. It'll be a little bit easier now that we understand how to fully do this, or I understand how to fully do this, because I'm also kind of learning with you a little bit. I understand the basics of how this works, but it's better to know how to use it fully and to actually test it out yourself. So you're going to add as many as you need. So we start off with 0, which is 1, and then 1, which is our second slot. And for this, we're going to take ferroboron, add it to that slot, and then lithium dust is going to get added to that slot. Put our variable card in. That's going to go ahead and automatically program it to that. And then we can throw that into this one, right? So let's go ahead and do that. We'll throw this item into items. Now what's going to happen is I'm going to have all of these automatically routed out, right? They're going to be routed to this output over here. And from the output, I'm going to have, like, if we request, I don't know, ferroboron, or we request tough alloy, the tough alloy, it's going to make the ferroboron here. It's going to be sent over here. And then in my actual world, it's going to go, okay, I have the ferroboron. Let's send it into the network now that we have it. And then it's going to send it back into the chest. That ferroboron is going to hit this. And then so is the lithium. And that's going to end up over here. And that's going to start producing. So that's how easy these cables are to set up. And if you really want to speed things up, you can go inside here and you can actually increase the transfer rate, right, of this stuff. So if you really want to, you have ticks per operation, but these also have ticks per operation as well. And you can make this really fast. It'll pull stacks at a time. So this is a really neat method on how you can do this. Now let's start setting up the outside. And I'm doing this as an example for you guys, so you can see. We're going to work on the outside first. Before we do outside, let's actually break this down. And let's set our extract here. Let's do our import, right? So I'm going to have a chest, temporary chest here. It's going to be temporary because, like I said, we're going to be putting items into this. And let's go ahead and just send this because, like I said, everything is going to go into this. So I'm better off just kind of getting that set up now. All right. So all of our cabling here. And by the way, you can actually facade this cable. There are facades in Integrated Dynamics, which is pretty nice. You didn't know that. So right here, this is where we are going to hook our item interface. Not to the wall. This is why you bring a wrench, because you have a hard time breaking these without a wrench. We need to be down here. Then place our item interface. There we go, on the chest. Place that. Check this to make sure that this is facing up. That's where we want that now. And then we'll go all the way back over to here. And these are going to be importing because we are going to import from this inventory into our network, which is now over here for this setup. So we're going to set these up. These are going to be the importers. And good thing about this is actually the easiest part. Easiest part of the whole thing. Because we don't have to do much. Not at all. So right here, let's make sure this is set to up. Save. Make sure this one's set to up. There we go. And on these, it's just as simple as taking a blank variable card and importing all items. All items are going to get imported and automatically sent into this chest. And you can see this is our output, and these are the items that are getting sent out. Very, very cool. Same is going to go for this. I'm going to have this placed here, this here, and we're going to have an item exporter that is actually going to export into the wall because that's where our final output's going to be. So let's go ahead and work on the outside. This is where all the magic is going to happen, and it's going to make this little block a very, very cool block. Let's go ahead and get this done. We'll have an item face there, one here, and we will make sure to have a cable here. And this is going to be an exporter. I need to make another exporter. Let's do that. Oh, I have some item exporters. Thought I didn't there for a second. There we go. And we'll make sure these are set to the right side, right? So this is technically facing south. So we'll go here and make sure it's actually facing the correct side. This says north, but really this is the south side. So this should be actually the north side. Right? All right. So we're exporting items. Should be fairly simple, right? Right now we're more concerned about the left side because we know that this is technically the mechanism, or not mechanism, the nuclear craft side. Let's go in here and go to applied energistics. We're going to get our ME interface. And right now we can have one, but we can put multiple interfaces on this chest if we really wanted to. Let's also grab our ME cable, or just drop it on the ground. And we're going to line this up. Like so. And we're just going to drop this down. Just like that. And we're going to place that ME interface right here. Perfect. So ME interface facing down, and this is going to get our recipes, which should be the ferroboron. Let's go ahead and pull those out. These right here. And we can go ahead and throw those recipes in here. Perfect. Now, we need an import bus to send items into this. So I think I'm going to put a chest in the back. This is going to be where our items actually end up being sent out. So what side is this? This is west, right? So let's go ahead and get a tunnel. When we go back in here, we're going to make sure that this goes on the west. I hope you guys are able to follow along with this. I'm trying. There we go. This will be the west side. Like that. West, just like that. Perfect. And of course, this is going to have an importer. Or exporter. Sorry, is this the exporter? Pulling from the chest is going to be an export. Put an export bus here. Make sure this is set correctly. This needs to go down. And then this needs to face this side. So if we open up our F3, we can kind of see this is... what side? East. So this needs to be set to east. Perfect. And then right here, we'll just put a blank variable card to export all items. There we go. That's pretty simple, right? So these items that are in here should be able to be pulled out. Let's go ahead and head out. And this might be like, somebody might go, man, you're making this really complicated. I'm going to be like, well, you just didn't try hard enough. All right, let's go ahead and let's break that. I don't want that connected like so. I need an importer connected there. So let's get an importer connected here. If it works. That is a weird issue. Okay, that's not okay. Oh, you know what? Can we access an import from that? No, we can't. So that is kind of broken. Okay, let's try this again. Let's do this. Right? Because technically I think this is a tunnel, so like, I see right here. So it is like, it's connecting directly to the block. That is kind of interesting. So technically, we don't even need this chest. Guys, we don't need that at all. We literally just need, okay, let's break this down. This is kind of crazy. We should be able to connect this cable directly to here, given that the outside world is allowing us to do that. So for example, if we remove these connections here, we should be able to put a cable directly here. This is our inventory that the integrated tunnels is working with. And then on the inside, that's connected. So technically that is, oh wow. That's actually working with that network setup on the outside. So in regards to this, we can remove these connections and just, this needs to be set to west. So we can just set a logic cable directly on here, go back into the main world and go logic cable out and hook this up completely different. Wow, my mind is blown. My mind is absolutely blown. That means we could technically use an exporter. My mind is blown. I didn't actually know it worked that way. That is awesome. So exporter here then, we can just put a variable card. And make sure this is connected to the right side, right? This is the west side. And there we go. And that pulled out our items. Oh my gosh. This is absolutely insane, guys. Like, that's insane. And look, we can see the inside. We can see all of our cabling and everything we have set up. This is so cool. That's so cool. So with that set up, with this whole thing set up, this is ready to go. This is ready to go. The only thing we need to do now is make sure we have an import bus pulling the items out of our system here, out of our chest. So import bus here. Right, like that. With some cabling hooked to it. Taking it up into our network, and we're good to go. So now we should be able to take like ferroboron and things like that. Let's go ahead and remove this stuff out of our inventory. Let's see, tough alloy. Let's take that out. Let's take out the ferroboron. The reason I want to take all that out is because I'm going to craft a few of these. We can start that process. And let's go take a look inside here and see if that is doing what it's supposed to. Wow. That's working. Now all we got to do is get some upgrades in this thing to speed it back up. But other than that, this is how these compact machines should work. That's awesome. That should say, okay, I have the available resources now. Go ahead and throw the ferroboron over here. And guys, oh, it doesn't get better than that. That is perfect. That is exactly what I wanted to happen. And guys, that is how to automate things inside compact machines. So guys, I know this might be a little bit longer of an episode, but I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode along with this new mic. Let me know down in the comments what you guys think about it. Also, if you haven't checked me out over at twitch.tv/ChosenArchitect, you can find a link down in the comment below. Most likely I'm live streaming while you guys are watching this, as always, which is super cool. We might be doing something different over there today. Anyways, I really appreciate it. I will see you guys in the next episode. And as always, guys, thanks for watching.